uh, candidates, Hector and Guadalupe. So they're going to need your help. We need your help to get out the vote. The governor is going to need your help to get out the vote. All right? So that's what we hear. All right. So let me remind you, because I know you guys know this, but I want to remind you just a little bit about our great governor. All right. Governor Abbott is one of the 100 most influential people in the world. And this was established by Time Magazine back in 2024. So this is the first year. He has been for a while. All right. This past legislation, he has signed into several important laws, providing school choice.
Yes.
He's given teachers a much-needed pay raise. He has provided all of you a tax break, and some of that is on the ballot right now. So you got to turn out and vote, okay? Each year, the governor has been in office, he's been named the best state. Texas has been named the best state for business in America. He's given Texas the ability to add $2.5 million jobs to our economy. That's huge. All right, that means we're growing instead of shrinking like other states. We have 54 Fortune 500 headquarters. That's more than $2.7 trillion that he's bought into the economy. All right? That affects all of you. All right? That improves the state.
That is so amazing.
The governor has unprecedented efforts with Operation Lone Star to secure our border. Everyone here knows how bad it was here in El Paso before Governor Abbott forced action and started helping us and saving us, all the crime and everything else that was going on. I used to go downtown, it was horrible. So I want to thank you, Governor, very much for that. I experienced it firsthand. The governor is working on securing Texas by developing an infrastructure, creating the Texas Cyber Command, which will be the largest state-based cybersecurity department in America. Again, Texas, because of Governor Abbott, is going to be #1 in one more thing. All right, so I want you all to join me in thanking Governor Abbott and his leadership for leading Texas and coming here to El Paso. And thank you very much, Governor.
Give it up for Michael doing such a great job for the El Paso Republican County Party. Howdy, El Paso. Great to be back again. Normally we do this inside here, but the crowd got so large they said, you got to take it outside. We're outside and we are loud and we are proud and we are going to win El Paso County this coming election cycle. There's something going on the border that you all saw on election night, this last election, when you saw county after county on the border turn red for the first time. I know you were thinking El Paso County was just maybe only the one or one of only a handful of border counties that did not turn red, but I know you're with me that we are going to turn El Paso County red this next election. Let me tell you, it's not complicated. The reason why all these border counties turn red is twofold. One, they saw that the Democrats who used to govern them, the Democrats who were governing the presidency like Joe Biden, they had abandoned any hope or any opportunity for a future for anybody living on those borders. And they want someone who provide hope and opportunity for that future, and that is the Republican Party of Texas. The second thing is, all they had to do was to open their eyes and see common sense. What we were doing is common sense. What the Democrats were doing violate common sense. Here's an easy example. We should have only participating in girls' sports. That's why I signed a law. I signed a law, no boys in girls' sports in the state of Texas. That's why it's Republicans who are against these open border policies. It's Republicans who will secure our border and deny illegal entry into the United States of America. That's exactly right. It's also, listen, there's a massive difference between the Republicans and Democrats as it concerns public safety, as it concerns crime in our cities. We believe that you should have safe streets to walk on and go shopping in and work on, and that's why Republicans are cracking down on crime in our cities.
Yes. Amen on that.
But listen, we need a whole lot more in addition to all that. Did a whole lot more during the session that Michael made some reference to. I'll pass on some of it. One is, for the first time ever, Texas joined the other Republican states across the country, and I signed the largest Day One school choice program in the history of the United States of America. Let me tell you what this does. So for those who don't understand all this, I want to boil it down for you. School choice, first of all, it empowers parents. Nobody knows a child better than a parent does. That parent knows that the child is succeeding or not succeeding back in that school. We want to empower those parents to choose the education pathway that's best for their child. Second, on special education, I'm going to come to that because I'm telling you, what we're providing this session is the largest increase ever for special education in the state of Texas. But second, know this, and that is, listen, on special education, the key part of it, but there's so much more. It's a subset. It's a subset. We'll visit with you in a second. But what we're doing together on education, we're creating a design. Part of the design is focused on school choice. Part of it is that we provided the largest increase in education funding for public schools, more than $8 billion for public schools in the state of Texas. Third, as Michael made reference to, the largest teacher pay raise in the history of Texas. We want to make sure we are attracting and retaining the best and the brightest teachers in our classrooms for our students. And then curriculum. We saw in the aftermath of COVID some of the horrible things being crammed down the throats of our kids, and so many parents were so angry about it. That's why we changed curriculum. We eliminated the woke agendas from our classrooms. We're focusing on education, not indoctrinating our kids in the classroom anymore. So let me tell you what is really behind all this, and that is, yes, we wanted to pass school choice. Yes, we wanted to empower Texas. But I'll tell you this. Anybody's heard me speak before know that I typically start out by talking about all the ways in which Texas ranks number one. If all I did was to get up here and read off a list of all the ways we rank number one, that would be a 30-minute speech. So what I decided, I'm the first governor in the history of Texas to say, we need to add another number one ranking to our record. Texas must become number one in educating our kids. And when you put all those pieces together, we're on the pathway to taking the step to make sure we are going to be ranked number one in educating our kids. But listen, there's a lot more that we did from a practical perspective. This is common sense, and that is we protected the privacy of women in their restrooms here in the great state of Texas. Listen, we passed the toughest law that bans foreign adversaries from being able to buy land in our state. You should not have the Chinese trying to buy land next to Fort Bliss, and now they're prohibited from doing so. We're going to protect our military installations here in Texas. Listen, there's a lot to do between now and this next November, gearing up for the election process, but there's an election going on right now. Early voting began this Monday. It goes through next Friday. And then the first Tuesday, there's an election taking place where there are very important 17 constitutional amendments where we're counting on you to help change the future of Texas. Let me walk you through some of these so you can know what's at stake and why you have to go vote. One is focusing on what's called fixing the broken bail system. Because of the leftist judges we have in this state, because of people who wanted to not obey the law, there were people who were arrested for murder and then let out by these progressive judges only to murder somebody else. That's outrageous. And so we rewrote the bail law, however, it requires a constitutional amendment. And what that means is you have to go vote on this. It's Proposition 3. Vote yes on Proposition 3 to ensure that our most dangerous criminals, murderers, rapists, and human traffickers, they will be kept where they belong, behind bars while they await trial. Vote yes. Another one that's essential to our future, and y'all may be dealing with this out here in El Paso, and that is we have a growing population, growing businesses, but dwindling water supply. We need to improve our water supply in Texas. Yes. Proposition 4 is to increase that water supply. We're using $20 billion, not a single penny more in taxpayer money. We are prioritizing our budget, like you have to prioritize your budget. We are prioritizing our budget, saying water is important, and we want to use this $20 billion to make sure that half of it will be used to fix broken and leaking pipes. The other half will be used for new water sources to make sure that future generations are going to have access to water. So vote yes on Proposition 4. Another one, now this makes sense, right? We should only have voting in our elections United States citizens. Proposition 16 requires only U.S. citizens can vote in our elections. Vote yes on Proposition 16. Now I'm going to tell you there's a way you can oversimplify all this. I can go through all of these. However, you can just go vote yes on every single one of these 17 ballot propositions. And if you need a better reason why, I'll tell you this. And that's because more than half of these propositions either abolish taxes or cut taxes. Let me give you several examples. We want to make sure there's no capital gains tax. There's a proposition that will completely ban a capital gains tax. We want to make sure there's not a death tax or inheritance tax in the state of Texas. There's going to be a confusing worded proposition on there. It's Proposition 6. Anyway, Proposition 6 says it wants to ban an occupations tax on financial institutions. Bottom line, we don't want an occupations tax. We don't want your financial industry to be taxed. So vote yes to ban those taxes on Proposition 6. And the last one I'll tell you about, listen, our small businesses are the most important businesses we have. Like the one we're in front of right now. This cantina, this cocina, this is a small business. The way the Texas tax system works, they have to pay what some people call an inventory tax or personal property tax on their tables, their chairs, their refrigerators, their cookers, their grills, things like that. Right now, the first $2,500 of the value of that is exempt from that tax. To be honest, that's not very much. If you vote yes on this proposition, it's going to increase that exemption from $2,500 to $125,000. That's going to be a tremendous savings for restaurants like this and small businesses across the entire state. And then there are 5 ballot propositions you can vote yes on that will cut and reduce your property taxes in Texas. Let me tell you about 2 of them. One is a proposition that increases the homestead exemption that exempts the amount of valuation of your property that you pay a school district tax on. Let me simplify this for you. Say your home is valued at whatever it's valued at. The first amount of that home is going to be exempt from being taxed. When I became governor, the amount of that exemption was $10,000. If you vote yes on this proposition, it's going to increase that all the way to $140,000. The first $140,000 on your home is not going to be taxed by the local school district. And if you're a senior or disabled, that's going to be increased to the first $200,000 that you will not pay a property tax on for your school. So that's going to mean more money in your pocket. Bottom line is all of these propositions together, they're going to change the future of Texas. But here's the deal. There's only one way to get those propositions passed. and that is to you go vote for them. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay here and take a picture with everyone who wants a picture under one condition, and that is you guarantee me that when you leave here, you're going to go vote. And I'm going to simplify it for you, because I have here the closest voting location, the YWCA West, 313 Bartlett Drive, is less than 2 miles away. I can make it there myself in 5 minutes. I know you can too, so I'm counting on you to go vote. Don't put it off till tomorrow. Don't put it off till next week. Go vote yes today on all 17 of those ballot propositions, and you will have made the great state of Texas even better. God bless you all, and God bless the great state of Texas.
We're going to get pictures.
We're starting from right over here, right, and we're working this way. Everybody else, I'm sorry, we're starting right over here. Starting on the right side.
Y'all sit here, and I'll pull you guys whenever it's time for the end.
I'll come bring you guys up.
Yeah.
Okay.